Hi there. Are you here for the appointment? Yeah, okay. I'm so glad to finally meet you. I will be, also you chose me, I will be your personal shopper and fashion coach, and I just cannot wait to begin with you. But first of all, before we go to the clothing part, I would need to take some measurements of you, because let me explain to you how I work. I actually prefer to have a very first appointment where I measure the person I work for, because that way I can get the perfect fit for you, and this is the thing that I'm aiming for. And the reason why I need to take the measurements is because people usually say to me, oh yeah, I'm a large size or medium size, but depending on the brand, this can means a completely different thing. And this is why when you shop on the internet, for example, you can have the detail of what every size means to the brand. And this is why, in order to have the most perfect fit for you, I need to take these measurements, okay? So today I have a couple of questions to ask you first, and then we will get to the measurements, okay? And so, yeah, one thing I wanted to say is that I'm also working with tailors. So if at some point you want to ask me to get you a custom suit, for example, or a custom dress, or any custom item, I already have all the measurements, and I can be much quicker in ordering and receiving the item that you want, okay? So, could we start by, could you give me your name again, please? Complete name, yeah. Okay. How do you spell that? Okay. Okay. And what is your height? Okay. Yeah, empiric system, metric system. Okay. Either way, it's okay for me. Okay, so what is your weight at the moment? And would you say that your weight is stable, or does it change a lot? I mean, do you have a tendency to gain a couple of pounds in the winter like many people, or do you always have the same weight? Okay. Okay. And what is your shoe size? Okay. You'll see one of the measurements that I do as well, and I didn't do it at first, is to measure the length of the foot and also the width. Because at first I wouldn't do it, and some shoes are very narrow, and some of my clients just were not comfortable in them, and I really want to give you beautiful pieces, but also pieces you can wear and which are not hurting you, obviously. So this is why I will also measure these, okay? We will do the measurements now. This is something I do before working for someone, but like we said, if you have a tendency to lose or gain weight, or if you are trying to lose weight at the moment, this is something we can do again in a couple of months. We measure you, and just so that I can make sure that I have the right measurements, and so that I will pick up the clothes at the right size for you, okay? So this first part with the questions is done for me. Please wait for me, and I will come back with my measurement tools, and we will start, okay? Thank you. Okay, so now we're good to go. Okay. I think we can start with the chest size. So for this one, I'm gonna ask you first of all for all the measurements. I would like you to be as relaxed as possible. Do not flex your muscle or change your posture, but just try to be as natural as possible. Okay. And for this specific measurement, I would like you to lift your arms, and I'm gonna go around you and measure the size of your chest. Okay? Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna get a bit close to you for the measurement. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. Alright, so please, yeah, thank you. So, okay. And alright, thank you. So for this one, okay, and the next one I have to measure is the waist, the tiniest part of your stomach. For this one, just the same thing, I'm gonna go around you with my tool, and I'm gonna measure, okay? So, alright, okay. The waist is done as well. Alright. How are you feeling? Okay? Frankly, do not feel intimidated by the measurements. Really, it's just you have the best vision of your actual size and get the best clothes for you, but really you shouldn't be feeling anxious or anything, you know. Just try to enjoy it and should be fine. Okay, next one is the full hip. So it's the hip area around the seat, and I'm gonna take the largest part there, you know. We've all had pants which were too tight or too baggy in this area, so with these measurements I will make sure that this will not happen to you, okay? Okay. Okay. Right. And so the full hip is done as well. Okay, next one is around the legs. I'm gonna measure the length of your legs, because really same thing is to have just the best pants for you, because very often the pants we can order or buy are just too long or too short for our legs length, but this way I'm gonna know for sure your size, okay? So I'm gonna do both legs. Alright, so just stand relax and just have your legs a bit apart from one another so that I can measure correctly. Okay, thank you. Okay, first one is done, second one. Okay. Okay, right. Alright, so I've got these measurements as well. The legs are done. Alright. Next one are the arms, okay? I'm gonna measure the length of your arms and also the circumferences of your arm, right? Yeah. So for the length of your arm, I would like you to have your arms as relaxed as possible, meaning not completely straight, but with a natural position, okay? Thank you. So I'm gonna measure this one there and going from beginning of the shoulder to this part and then the rest there. Alright, and second one now. Same thing, going from the shoulder, okay, and then to the end. Alright. Alright, this one is done as well. Okay, and then the arm circumference. Alright, so same thing like I said to you earlier, do not flex the arm or anything, just be as relaxed as possible. This is something that happens way too often when we order a shirt and it's just too tight in that area, so I'll make sure this doesn't happen to you. And the second one now. Okay, and then right. Okay. Left side and right side. Okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna do same thing but with the thighs, you know, and the calves, just to make sure that we do not get U-pins which are too tight in these areas. Alright. So with the thighs there. Alright. Same thing, just do not flex anything and be as relaxed as possible. And then the calves there. Okay. Right. And same thing with the other leg. So the thighs. Okay. And then the calves. Alright. Great. These one are measured as well. Alright, of course all the measurements I'm taking, I can send you at the end all the measurements. Just for you, if you want to order anything and you're not sure about your size, you will get with all the measurements the right size for you for any website, any clothes seller. So this should be really helpful for you as well, okay? Alright, next one is about the feet. Yeah, like I told you, I'm gonna measure the length and the width of the feet so that we just have the right size for you, and so that we do not get you too narrow shoes, which is unfortunately something that happens once in a while. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna ask you to move your feet away. I'm gonna put my measurement tape on the floor and gonna walk back on this one, okay? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so starting with this feet, yeah, you can walk back on the tape. Thank you. Alright, okay, and now the width I can do from there. Alright. Second feet now. Yeah, can you walk on the tape? Alright. And the width now. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Alright, so these are measured as well. Okay, so we finished with the first part. First part was overall measurements. Second part of the measurements is all about the tailoring, and which are measurements that I will not use to define your actual size for clothing, but which will be more likely used if you decide to get a custom shirt, custom suit, or this kind of thing, okay? And very last part, after the tailoring, I'm gonna do some more measurements but these would be more for accessories. So for example, I'm gonna measure your fingers if you want to get a ring. I'm gonna measure also some areas of your face. Basically, if you want to get a hat, you will know what size you should take. And same thing with glasses. I'm gonna measure some parts of your face just to know which size would suit your face the best. Okay? And same thing with ears. I'm gonna measure just overall your ears just to find the right size for earrings, for example. Okay, so now part 2 is tailoring. So I'm gonna measure your collar, the base of your neck now. Alright, so move your head up a bit. Yeah. Thank you. Great. Okay. I've just ordered some new material sample from our tailor, and I just cannot wait to receive them and show them to my clients, because I got a feeling some will want some custom tailoring. I'm sure of it. They're doing magnificent work, and I'm so happy they are willing to partner with me on this one. Alright, so collar is done. I'm gonna measure now from the collar to the shoulders, each side. So, collar to shoulder, alright, and other side, collar to shoulder as well. Okay. Right, so this one is done as well, left side and right side. Okay, next one is from the shoulder to the chest and from the shoulder to the waist. So these 2 measurements I'm gonna do, well, 4 actually measurements. So shoulder to the chest, alright, and shoulder to the waist. Okay. Same thing there. Alright. Perfect. Great. Okay, next one is shoulder to shoulder of the back. So I'm gonna go around you and I'm gonna measure this one. And while I'm at it, I could do the other back measurements as well. These are from the back of the neck to the lower back as well. I'm gonna do these 2 measurements, okay? Alright, so now I'm gonna measure from shoulder to shoulder. Alright, okay, and then from the lower part of the back of your neck to the lower back. Great. Okay, so for the tailoring part, I've got 2 more measurements to make. Yeah, so first one is the front width of your bust for shirts. This measurement is important. And next one is the largest part of your stomach, which is not always the same as the waist, okay? So front width of the bust. Alright, and then, yeah, so around your waist again, but for the largest part of the stomach. Alright. very comprehensive, you know that? Very easy to do the measurements on you. Alright, so very last part of the measurements, like I told you, regarding the accessories. So I'm gonna start with the head circumference, just to define your hat size, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna start with that. So, same as earlier, just stand straight and your head just straight, okay? Alright, so okay. It's not too tight, right? Yeah, it's good. Alright. Great. So this one is done. Okay, so the next one I would like to do all the fingers circumferences. Actually, if I would like to do this just for the rings, I would not have to do all the fingers, but since sometimes there are different sizes for gloves as well, I prefer to do all the measurements, and they are done once and for all, and we don't have to measure them again. Okay, so can you please give me your hand? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna measure the fingers now, starting with the thumb. Alright. Okay, second finger. Okay. Perfect. And the very last one. Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna write them down before I forget the measurements. Right, so second hand now. Okay, so thank you. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna do your wrists now, okay? And then we're gonna move on back to the head. So, sorry to ask again, but may I have your hands again? Thank you. So the wrists. Okay, these for watches, for example, will let us know the perfect size for them. Second hand. Thank you. Alright, so now I'm gonna measure some points on your face, and then I will do your ears and we should be done. So I've already measured the whole head circumference. Now I'm gonna do the length of your face, alright? Just to figure out the proportion and figure out how much space we have for glasses, for example, sunglasses or regular glasses. Okay? So, yeah, you can close your eyes or not, as you wish. Okay, and the widths now. Okay. Great. Alright, I'm gonna do a couple more measurements now. So, okay. Right. Perfect. Now, then we're going to do the ears and we're done. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to these parts just to check. Okay. Alright, so yeah. And then we've got. Okay, great. Second side now. And so, okay, yeah, and then, yeah, great, okay. Alright, and then we are done for the measurements. Frankly, I am thrilled to be working for you very soon. Now that I have all the measurements, I can start to work on the form that you filled in with all your preferences regarding your style. And then next time we see each other, I think I will already have some interesting pieces I could show you and that you may very much enjoy, okay? Thank you again for coming in and being so still for the measurements, and I cannot wait to see you again.